Hey everybody, Dan with Pain Free You. Today's topic is going to be knowledge is not enough. So we'll get to that in a second. Take a couple breaths. Breathe out the negativity. Just let it out. Breathe in the clarity, the peace, the understanding. Exhale the doubt and uncertainty. Breathe in the inner peace. And exhale the inner turmoil. So knowledge is not enough. Boy, do I wish it was. Because if that were the case, all you'd have to do is hear about Dr. Sarno and his discovery that the mind and body, that the brain is creating pain, and you watch a video or two of mine, and what's the matter? Why am I still hurting? Doesn't make sense. And sure enough, we read the stories about, and even Dr. Sarno's book about how somebody had an emotional outburst and poof, the pain was gone. Or we, go to Amazon and we see people saying, I read the book and my pain went away. And so, we get this impression that, well, I read the books, I listened to the videos, I watched, listen to the podcast, watch the videos. I know everything about it. I could teach a class on TMS. How come my pain's still here? So, to the point of the video topic, knowledge is not enough. Understanding what's going on is one aspect of it. But at the same time, there's a subconscious process going on where your brain is perceiving that either, in Sarno's case, the repressed negative emotions are too scary, dark, or even dangerous, so the brain needs to be distracted from them. So you didn't experience these emotions your brain doesn't think you can handle. Or in many other cases, it's not necessarily about some long-lost repressed emotion that your brain's trying to protect you or distract you from. It could be some other perceived danger. Could be just work stress, could be you name it. And yes, emotions are in the middle of all of that stuff. But once the pain takes hold, the fear of the pain, the expectation of pain, especially when you do certain movements or when you, whatever it may be, whatever your experience is, the fear of the pain kind of takes hold. And then with the fear and the attention we give it, it kind of becomes persistent or chronic. So saying, I don't get it. I understand everything about TMS, and in some cases, maybe some of us have gotten better before, but why am I still getting pain? I know what's going on. Unfortunately, it's a subconscious process, and the conscious thinking brain says, I know what this is. Brain, stop it. But the brain is still trying to protect us, and it's not going to ask our permission to do so. And so knowledge is not enough. We actually have to implement and focus on retraining the brain to know that emotions are not dangerous. Stress is not dangerous. Life events are not dangerous. And that there's no reason for us to hurt physically as a result of all of these common reasons for onset of TMS or this perceived danger pain. So implementation is way more important than knowledge. Well, I wouldn't say way more, at least as important. Because again, if it was just knowledge, people would read the book and pain would be gone and it would stay away forever. Some people do get book cures, and I think the reason why that happens is the two fuel sources for persistent chronic pain, TMS in particular, this perceived danger pain, is fear and the attention we give the pain. So if knowledge is enough to take your fear from however high it was to zero, and therefore you don't give it any attention, you've just taken away the two fuel sources for persistent chronic pain. And so maybe that's why some book cures happen. You get some people that go, holy crap, I'm fine. This makes so much sense. I see myself on every page. Fear goes out the window. Attention goes back to living life. And the brain eventually gets the message. And I did just talk to somebody. Same scenario. I think I mentioned it in yesterday's video. She had back pain. She finally said, you know what, I don't care. She decided not to fear it any longer and didn't give it any attention. The pain went away. So in that case, she kind of got lucky. It was a good thing. I had that happen a number of times. Pain would go away, would come back. Sarno knowledge, yeah, it helped in the beginning, but the pain kept coming back. So clearly the knowledge wasn't enough. You know, I could have quoted passages from the books. Wasn't enough. So if you're struggling with that and feeling really frustrated that I don't get it, I know about TMS, well, knowledge isn't enough. And Sarno had some passage in one of his books that said knowledge is the penicillin for this illness. And he's right, because without the actual knowledge, how easy is it going to be for you to dial down the pain or the fear about the pain? Right? Because if fear is the fuel, you really have to understand that TMS fundamentals, perceived danger pain fundamentals is there's nothing dangerous going on. There's nothing broken. You're not injured. There's nothing to heal. And so dialing down the fear becomes really much easier. I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's much easier when you have the knowledge. You know, if you just told somebody with chronic pain and just said, hey, you know what? Breathe, relax, tell yourself you're safe. Do you think that's going to work? Do you think that's going to give them the outcome that they're seeking to get rid of the pain? No, because they might still think, well, my doctor told me I got a jacked up, busted up back. And so the brain's not going to give up on the pain as a distraction or protection mechanism if the brain perceives that the body's all messed up. So the knowledge is really foundational. And the knowledge, in my opinion, is what we utilize to teach the brain that, you know what, I'm actually okay. Because with the knowledge, you can dial down the fear, and when the fear comes down, you'll be able to shift your attention back to living your life more. And for anybody who's struggling with this concept, dialing down the fear is really the big thing, you know. And we do that by teaching the brain that I'm not in danger. Emotions are safe. How? By feeling them. I'm safe physically. By what? Relaxing the body. Don't be walking around like this all day. Teach your brain that your thoughts are safe, not by stopping negative ones, but by just not taking them seriously. Recognize that so much of our life is experienced through our thinking. And so why take the negative thoughts so seriously and embrace them as fact? Just let them go past. Shift your focus away from the symptoms. Be indifferent if you can. If you can't be, the next best thing is calm reassurance. Stay away from the freak out zone, because all that does is scream fear, danger, oh my God, I'm in trouble. And shift your attention as much as you can, given your scenario, towards doing normal things. Start to resume activities that you've been avoiding because of the fear of the pain. You know, this is kind of the recipe, if you will. So it's not just about knowledge. Knowledge is not enough. You got to implement the knowledge by using that knowledge to teach the brain there's no reason to fear. When you do that, you can pull away the attention. Without those two fuel sources, things kind of fizzle out on their own. So I hope this makes sense. It's not just about knowledge. It's part of it, but it's not enough by itself. You got to do something with the knowledge, which is make sure you know deeply, from the cognitive to the wisdom, I'm really not broken. There's nothing to fix. I'm not sick. I'm not broken. There's nothing to heal. Right? Those statements are powerful. So take that knowledge, embrace it, make it wisdom, and utilize that knowledge to dial down the fear. Because once you do that, things start getting easier. So, love you guys and gals. We'll talk to you tomorrow.